Okay, in this video we're going to take a little look into Windows 10. Um, it's quite a bit different than Windows 7. So when you first open the computer and power up, you'll see a window similar to this, probably a different background, but it just says press Control Delete to unlock. So you do that, and then it'll take you to something like this. With the last user that logged in, and if that's not you, then you just go down there and click other user, and you'll be able to put your username and password in that you normally log into Windows with. So once you do that, it'll log you in, and it'll look similar to Windows 7 in how the desktop looks. One of the big differences is kind of the start menu, and there's a search button here. It'll either be just a standard search, or there's an option called Cortana, which is kind of like an assistant. I don't know if Cortana is enabled by default, but either way, you can, if you need to run a program, you can just type in Paint or whatever, and it'll bring up, that the program, any program that matches whatever you just typed in. So if I click down here on the start menu, you can see it looks quite a bit different than Windows 7. Here's my Windows 7 start menu over here. And so Windows 10, it has a lot of things going on here. These are default things that show up. Generally, most of this stuff in here I don't even use. Normally, if I was gonna customize this, I would right click on a lot of this stuff and unpin, and that'll remove it from. It'll remove it from your startup here and kind of clean that up. If I remove all these, it'll get rid of this whole play section, I believe. Yeah. So you can customize how your start menu looks, and get rid of a lot of the stuff that's on here by default. But the applications, like in Windows 7, I would go to all programs, and they would be arranged, by kind of the favorites up here, and then folders. Windows 10 kind of just has one long list here with everything in it, and it's all just alphabetical. So if I want to run Microsoft Word, it's just filed under Word, and Microsoft Access is Access. So they're not stuck in a folder named Microsoft. Now, we can move them to a folder, but by default, the programs are just put in here alphabetically. There's a button over here that'll show you who's logged in, and you can lock the computer or sign out or switch account. If you click on this settings button, you can go in and to your Windows settings and look around or change anything that is not locked down by the administrators. And then down here I can sleep, shut down, or restart the computer. So those are just kind of the main changes in the start menu versus Windows 10 versus Windows 7. So if we start Word, most of the things in Windows 10, the basic behavior is pretty much the same. But there are some, subtle and not so subtle differences on how Windows 10 and Windows 7 runs. And we'll get into some more of those changes in the next video.